Hello? Guess who's back? Back again. G is back. Tell a friend. No, I'm just kidding. What's going on, everyone? One more time. Then it's in a long time. Let me see a little. Guess who's back, y'all? Back here with a new damn video. It's your boy G. Let's get right down to it. It's been a long time. It's been quite a while, hasn't it? There's not been a lot going on. You know, Carson Wentz did get his extension. He deserves that. And we'll talk about that later on during the season as the season goes along because you'll see why. He's one of the best young quarterbacks in the league. But I digress. Listen. I was here talking about the Sixers, this and that. I don't want to get into that. People have been hitting me up to make your video predictions on this, that. We're getting to the Eagles right now. Now, there was a thing going around. I think, was it Zach Ertz and a couple of the beat reporters saying that this Eagles team, is better than the 2017 Philadelphia Eagles. This 2019 Eagles team. That is debatable. That's why I'm here today. Because it's been lingering on my mind. And for the past two weeks, week and a half, ever since I heard them say that, I thought to myself, is it really better than that team? You know, I was like, I got to make a video on it. And then I said, you know what? Nah, let me not. It's not that big of a headline. No one's really talking about it. But then I said, let's break it down. Let's really look at it. You know, this is the only thing I'll factor into that 2017 Eagles team. Is that you had Chris Long, who, did he retire? Or, yeah, I think he did. You had him, who was a leader, veteran presence, who also just came off a Super Bowl victory with the New England Patriots. LeGarrette Blount, same thing. New England Patriots, Super Bowl victory. Now he's joining this team. Okay? They were on those squads. But you still got a veteran presence of Malcolm Jenkins, who won one with us and won one with the Saints. You still got Brandon Graham. You still got Fletcher Cox. The list goes on and on and on. And the moves that Howie Roseman has made this offseason, the brilliancy he's done in getting rid of Timmy Jernigan and then bringing in Malik Jackson, who is a beast as defensive tackle. Had a down year last year. Year before that, was a monster. He still is a monster. He'll fit perfect in this scheme with Jim Schwartz and everything going on, and Fletcher Cox side by side next to him, taking some pressure off him. He faced a lot of double teams last season. Let's keep it real, and because he was one of the top guys on that Jaguars line. And, of course, they have a good line, but whatever. Then they turn around and they pick up Timmy Jernigan again because no one did, and they got him for cheaper than they were already paying him. Damn, I'm sorry. I just took this out the closet. Didn't even get the wrinkle, iron it or anything. A lot of wrinkles in it. Whatever. But what I'm saying is this. And then they get Timmy Jernigan back for cheaper than what they were already paying him. So they basically declined his whole contract by getting rid of him, brought in this guy, and then, hey, we bring you back for cheaper. But you know what, though? I'm ready for it. This defensive line is going to be insane. Now, 2017 Eagles. Why did we win that Super Bowl? Why did we have that run? Well, Carson Wentz was hot. He was the MVP of the league. Let's not even question it. Only reason Tom Brady got it is because he played the whole season. People seem to forget that Carson Wentz, et cetera, et cetera. Plus, when the MVP and the voting's over, it usually is the day before the Super Bowl at the NFL awards or whatever. And he wasn't playing in the Super Bowl. Eagles were in it, though, but with Nick Foles. Okay, so that does play a factor in that. It took Russell Wilson and, Tom Brady was still tied with TDs as much as Carson Wentz had in week, 13 or 14 when he got hurt. It took Wilson all the way to week 17 to finally break his 33 TDs and only got 34. All right, but I digress. Let's just get into it. But once Wentz went down, you had a really good backup quarterback in Nick Foles, who really played shaky at times. Then he got hot. And when he got hot, he was hot. Like I said before, Nick Foles is the most streakiest quarterback I've ever seen in the NFL history. When he's hot, he's hot. I mean, when he's hot, he's one of the best quarterbacks that you can find in the whole league, and that includes Rodgers, Brady, whoever you can name, Breeze. When he's hot, this guy's hot. Like you see in 2013, when he was on that hot streak, went 27-2. He threw 7 TDs in one game. Last year was streaky. NFC title game. Blew up. Bop, 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 bop. Super Bowl. Bop, 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 bop. Won it. But let's just talk about it, all right? You put all the pieces together. You add the talent together. And you know what? Wow, we still have a lot of the talent we have from the Super Bowl season. You still got Alshon Jeffrey. You still got Zach Ertz. You still got Fletcher Cox. You still got Brandon Graham. You still got Derek Barnett now come back from injury because last year he got hurt, didn't get to play. He got hurt like week 3, week 4. He was about to have a breakout season. Let's keep it real here. He was going to have a breakout season, it looked like. Malcolm Jenkins come back. Ryder McLeod's come back from the injury. You added a couple pieces in, I think, the secondary. And you added a really good linebacker in Zach Brown. I liked him since he was with Buffalo. And you've seen what he did there. And I think he was under Rex with him and not Nigel Bradham. Now they're both teamed back together. I love that. But I'm just going to talk about this, okay? We still have all that. But then you added Deshaun Jackson. Now, the problem with Deshaun Jackson, his first run here in Philly, is everyone thought he was a number 1 receiver. Yes, he can be a number 1 receiver, but he's not an actual number 1 receiver. He's not a Calvin Johnson level. He's not a... At that time he was in our, with us. I'm just making an example. Other receivers, he was not those caliber guys. He wasn't a Calvin Johnson. He wasn't the. I'm just trying to think of names that were around back then. I mean, it's only a couple years ago, but still, he wasn't that type of stuff. I think Jeremy Maclin, in my opinion, was better than him. He was better, better hands, better route runner. He just didn't have the speed. Now that doesn't matter because you have Alshon Jeffrey, who we have on many teams. Could be a number 1 depending who the other receiver is he's lining up against to. Like, for example, if he's playing with the Texans, DeAndre Hopkins is number 1 receiver, no doubt about it. But on many other teams, he's number 1. He goes to New York Giants, he's number 1 target they had, number 1 receiver. Zach Ertz, the best tight end in the league, in my opinion. So, but what I'm saying is this. I'm just naming people off. But you add Deshaun. Now, he comes back to Philly. He doesn't have to be the number 1. He doesn't have to be number 1 option. Now, they got to tell him straight up, listen, Deshaun, you get a little older in age. Do you want to win the Super Bowl? If you do, your numbers might diminish a little, but that's all you got to give up. Yeah, you're going to get your touchdowns. You're going to get your catches because it's been happening all with that mini camp or whatever was going on. I heard Wentz was just killing it and shooting it to him. This video's getting a little long, but whatever. Deshaun is going to be the guy, the decoy, who takes the top off the defense, and then when he's, when he disappears in those games like he always does in the playoffs or certain games he disappears, you got Alshon to throw to. That's the number 1 guy. You got Ertz to throw to, top tight end in the league. This is not a Deshaun, he shut down, let me throw to Riley Cooper. Riley Cooper, let me shut down to Brent Selleck. Not saying Brent Selleck was bad, but he's not Zach Ertz. You understand? Okay. You also got Jordan Howard here. You're going to run Jordan Howard the way you ran LeGarrette Blount, and he's going to be productive, maybe even better, more production than LeGarrette Blount brought you. It all depends how he performs in the playoffs, though. But Jordan Howard, the reason he had a down year last year with the Chicago Bears was because the new offense, and he did not fit the scheme whatsoever. Yes, I know we run the same scheme as them, and yes, Matt Nagy for the Bears comes from the same coaching tree as Doug Peterson from the Andy Reid tree. We know the whole deal. What I'm getting at is this. Is Doug will adjust when he knows he has the kind of back like he did with Blount. He would downhill run him, pound it, and then you have Miles Sanders catch up the backfield. This team on paper looks better than the 2017 Eagles. No doubt about it. Talent-wise. Torrey Smith was our speedster. Deshaun Jackson is the 2019 Eagles speedster. And he's a 10 to maybe 20 times better receiver than Torrey Smith. Torrey Smith was brought here to be a speed guy. And it worked. And this guy's even better and faster. But the only reason I would not call them better than the 2017 Eagles is because the 2017 Eagles played as a team. They played as one. That's the reason we won the whole thing. There were games when Wentz was hurt, that Foles was in. Defense won us that game. Another game, defense / a little bit of offense won us that game. Then we get to the Super Bowl. Defense did not show up until it really mattered with a couple turnovers. The offense took it over. But it was a team thing. They all did it. So on paper, yes, we look better. But it has to show up in wins and losses and Super Bowl appearances. Some quarters, I'm not calling those Super Bowl appearances. I got to see first. But what I'm saying is this. It's going to have to do with the team, the camaraderie, the certain who gets a certain snaps. On defense, is Jim Schwartz going to, fix things up? And how are some of these egos going to play out? And the biggest ego is Deshaun Jackson. Because I've listened to a lot of his press conferences. I listened to a lot of his interviews since he's come back here. He seems like he's matured. He seems like he's matured a lot. 30-something years old now. But he just seems the way he's matured a lot more when you listen to him speak and the way he talks. And it seems like he really wants to win a Super Bowl. And I hope that's the truth. What a comeback story. You come back to where you got drafted and you win not the first Super Bowl in history because you weren't here for it, but the second one, and you get a ring, and maybe you can retire, whatever you want to do. But back to what I'm saying. On paper, this is a better team than 2017 Eagles, no doubt about it. And that 2017 Eagles took the league by storm. On the top 10 decade team, top 10 teams of this decade, the Eagles, 2017 Eagles, ranked number 3 on that list. Yeah. All I got to say is this. On paper, it looks good. When it comes to the plays and it comes to the camaraderie with the team and the gel and the feeling and the egos getting switched aside, that's when we see a difference. That's when we see, okay, this is something special here. Guys are not complaining about getting different targets. Targets be shooting here, shooting there. And it's also going to depend on the health of Carson Wentz. If this guy stays healthy. And you know what? Let me just stop with that stay healthy thing because, okay, I will stay on the stay healthy because he did get hurt. But if you remember that 2017 season, no one in the beginning of the season even thought about Wentz getting hurt. No one thought about that. No one even thought about Nick Foles even playing the game. They said, maybe if we get a first-round bye, he might get a couple snaps. No one thought about that. That was not even in the question. And you saw the run we were going on. Everyone goes, yeah, we're going to win the Super Bowl with Carson Wentz. Then he gets hurt. Nick Foles wins. Then last year he actually played. Percentage was up and touchdown interception ratio, his pass completions, everything was up from the year before, and that was the MVP season. Then he got a little hobbled. You seen his leg in the back, and he got hurt again. Now everyone's like, oh, his health. Everyone's complaining about that. Let's try to erase that and just go into this season. Yes, it depends on your health. Because look, if the Packers lose Aaron Rodgers, look what happens. If the England Patriots lose Brady, well, we'll see. I don't even. Well, Brian Hoyer ain't doing nothing, but whatever. All of these teams with star quarterbacks, future stars. Patrick Mahomes gets hurt. Who's taking over the team? You get what I'm saying? So we'll see. But on paper, it is better than 2017 Eagles. But I cannot call them that because they have a ring. They are cemented in lore. They are one of the top 10 teams of this decade that was assembled. They have a plaque on my wall. They have T-shirts I have. That whole squad won something. So before we label this one, let's see how far they go. But on paper, they look good. But always on paper, something looks good. Doesn't pan out. Go Birds. I'll be here later on. I will be at training camp. I got my ticket. And I will come here with a schedule, prediction, review of the whole season. Go Birds. Nice to see you guys again. Comment below on your thoughts on what you think about what I'm saying. I know the people out there spitting out, oh, we're better than that team. This team's better than that one. Let's just talk about it. Go Birds.